I've tried a lot of sleep aids. It's very rare that I find one that I want to use regularly as a daily driver, but raw sleep has become that for me. Most sleep aids have become kind of the same thing over and over, but raw did a nice job of coming in with something unique, but also light and able to be used daily. So it's literally no joke. If you follow us on Instagram, you'll notice that I post a lot of sleep aids. I think they're almost as fun as pre-workouts to try. Maybe I'm getting old. Raw did an awesome job of bringing in a sleep product that isn't the normal just mega dose of melatonin, GABA, and a couple other things. We've got a new ingredient in here, Hawthorn, which we will get into talking about, but we also do more than just give a sledgehammer of melatonin. We also help the body produce more melatonin, which most people forget we do naturally. So without further ado, let's jump in and talk about raw sleep and how it was made uniquely and differently to the point that I've been enjoying it almost every day. Well, from the top, we've got a great source of magnesium for sleep, magnesium glycinate, one of the great sources that we like to see for sleep specifically. Now, we've extensively covered magnesium and how our food sources are low in it. Some studies show up to 80 to 90% reduction in magnesium in our food sources. That's really important because magnesium, outside of just being really important for athletes, has been linked in deficiencies to anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, stress, poor sleep. Now, the mineral plays a really vital role in neurotransmitter regulation. But if you want to make sure that you're rested and relaxed, well, one of the first things you got to look at is your magnesium level. Now, short of finding your own fertile soil, raising your own cattle, and making your own produce, well, you're going to have to start supplementing it in that case. But why magnesium glycinate? Well, chelated minerals are really important because our body isn't all that great at absorbing minerals on their own. So we surround it with an amino acid that, well, our bodies are really good at absorbing those. But the really good news is that glycine, the amino acid used in magnesium glycinate, is also really helpful for sleep. So we're excited to see it being used as the amino acid to help with magnesium, as a little bit of a 2-for-1 punch here. Now, the recommended daily value of magnesium can vary based on your weight and your gender, stuff like that, but it is also important to note that if you take too much of it, it could be sending you to the bathroom quick. So we've got 200 milligrams of it here, which is going to be really great for females. It's going to be a healthy dose for males. I'm definitely recommending you still get magnesium for the rest of your day, and don't rely too much on just your sleep aid, which you probably won't be using 7 whole days out of the week. This is a great place to start. We're happy with the quality. Now, zinc is an awesome follow-up to that. Zinc we see in tons of different benefits. Testosterone boosters. ZMA has been a classic sleep aid for a long time. From immunity to acne prevention to cognition, there's a ton of different benefits to zinc, not just sleep aids here. Now, 2011 study studied magnesium, zinc, and melatonin together and saw a significant increase in sleep quality. Some of the magnesium and the melatonin might have been doing the heavy lifting there, but zinc was offered in that, and all 3 of those ingredients are here. But we also noticed that children with higher zinc blood concentrations had significantly better sleep quality. Further studies replicated that same study in other types of populations, from women with PMS symptoms to completely normal people as well. Now, a 2017 review focused a little bit more on the why than the if, since it's been pretty well shown that zinc does help with sleep, and the why was pretty unclear to the scientific community. That being said, the researchers did say it's a pretty core component of the central nervous system, and this really shouldn't be taken for granted. So make sure you're not deficient in zinc if you want, well, great sleep or a lot of different other things that it also helps out with. Now, 2 other things we've got in here are vitamin B6 and vitamin C. Vitamin B6 is in a great form, P5P, what we're looking for, animal sourced vitamin B6, the one that is actually effective as opposed to pyridoxine hydrochloride, which, well, doesn't work all that well. Vitamin B6 is classic for ZMA supplements. Alongside zinc and magnesium, B6 will help a lot with sleep. The reason is that it's here to actually help out with the vitamin C and the magnesium, helping them create melatonin, since those are cofactors for the formation of melatonin. Now, all those things put together are going to form some great sleep, but one funny thing is that vitamin B6 is actually really noteworthy for causing very vivid dreams. So if you're someone who's interested in that, this could be a good product for you. Vitamin C, we already kind of mentioned. Vitamin B6 is helping it with the magnesium form melatonin. It's a cofactor for melatonin. That's really all it is here for, although it is a great antioxidant as well. Now, past that, we get into our active ingredients here. We've got L-tryptophan at 500 milligrams. Now, tryptophan is the amino acid in turkey that most people complain about around Thanksgiving for making them sleepy. Although I will say that I think that that is a lot more to do with the amount of calories that you're consuming in a small amount of time on Thanksgiving. Tryptophan does actually have some benefits in a sleep aid as well. Now, tryptophan is converted into serotonin, and serotonin, when the time and situation is right, can be converted into melatonin as well. So for that reason, you can kind of look at it as a time-released melatonin because that's something that has been popular in the industry as well. While it wasn't used in here, they're kind of creating it through some other pathways. Although tryptophan is a deficiency that you want to avoid, and there are other processes it's used for, it is converted into serotonin and then melatonin in the right cases. The nice thing about it is that we've got a big dosage here at 500 milligrams. This is something that actually would scare a lot of supplement users when it's in like pre-workouts or EAAs and stuff like that. But in this case, we're giving so much to the body that there is going to be some left over to be converted into melatonin and not any other processes that might be needed at the time. Now, with that said, let's jump into an underrated and often underutilized ingredient, lemon balm extract. Now, this one is standardized to over 7% rosmarinic acid and over 14% hydroxycinnamonic acid. That's at 300 milligrams here with those standardizations. Now, this herb is from the same family as mint and has a slight lemon scent to it, which is why it has the name. But more importantly, it's been long known for its mildly sedative and calming properties. It does this because it helps prevent the breakdown of GABA, which is kind of the downer neurotransmitter. Now, we're super happy to see that Raw actually called out these standardized parts of the ingredient. Most often, we just see lemon balm extract. We have no clue what it's standardized for. A pilot study actually demonstrated that lemon balm can reduce anxiety by 18% and insomnia by 42%. Some pretty big differences. Some other research actually even showed benefits in cognitive abilities, which is nice to see next to the upcoming Uganda inclusion in this product as well. One thing to note is that there is some other research on sleep quality, but it was used alongside valerian root in that study, and valerian root is not in this product. But when you look at the different things that it is able to accomplish on its own, we could see that there's probably some sleep quality benefits coming, but we can't actually claim them without the valerian root in the product as well. So take that for what it's worth. It's a part of a formula with a lot of other benefits that are around sleep quality. So we feel confident that it will help with that. But without the valerian root in there, you actually can't claim it. Now, here's an ingredient that we really never talk about and is pretty new to this scene, Hawthorn Extract. Now, this is the leaf and the flower extract. It's 250 milligrams. And the leaves and the flowers of this plant have been used for a very, very long time to help promote sleep and relaxation. Specifically, the French have used it for some time for anxiety and insomnia. So this is the first time we've seen it in a sleep aid, and admittedly, we don't see any published research on this. That being said, we very often see herbs that have been used for hundreds of years in different civilizations or areas of the world, and they do have a historical significance with certain ailments or helps. In this case, Hawthorn extract is known for helping with anxiety and insomnia. We don't have any published studies, so we don't have anything to claim here. But it's worth noting that there are places around the world that have used this for hundreds of years to help with this problem. After that, we get into Uganda, which is an ashwagandha root and leaf extract at 250 milligrams. Uganda is an ashwagandha extract that is growing in popularity. Obviously, it has a nootropic benefit, as the name would suggest. Now, interestingly, across the Raw and Revive offerings, they show a bunch of different ashwagandha types. You got Shonin in some products, KSM in other, and now Uganda in Raw Sleep. So wherever you go, you're getting some sort of ashwagandha, and if you take a bunch of different products together, you're likely crushing cortisol across the day, which is an awesome thing to be doing. But what makes Uganda different? Obviously, there's a bunch of different ashwagandha offerings, and they're all a little bit different. Every company claims different things, but they're all coming from the same plant. So Uganda is manufactured with liposomal technology that can change the way that it's absorbed in the body. This means that it's been encapsulated with phospholipids. In addition to increased bioavailability, there's even a possibility that this will help it cross the blood-brain barrier, since our bodies are so happy to absorb lipids. Now, ashwagandha is used for numerous different issues, from decreasing cortisol to increasing testosterone to improving power output. It reduces fatigue, increases cognition, and can even improve body composition. That being said, the bulk of its work is in decreasing cortisol, and that's a huge thing for sleep. If you're in a stressed out state, you're not going to be sleeping very well. So for all those reasons, we're happy and we're pretty excited to expect feel-good ingredient in this product. This is going to calm you down, but it's also going to feel nice on the way down. Hopefully this will help you let go of some of your stresses for the night, recover, and get ready for that cortisol spike in the morning to get back to work. Now, last but definitely not least, we have an exogenous melatonin source here. We've already talked about the production of melatonin, but what are we doing to give the body just a jolt of it to send it to sleep? 3 milligrams of melatonin is down here at the bottom. It's not a huge dose. It's not a small dose either. I think it's going to be just right for most people. Now, if you read our blog over on blog.priceplow.com, you'd see Mike talked a lot about the conversion of tryptophan to serotonin. And that actually comes a little bit into this melatonin discussion here. If you go really further into the description of melatonin, we have an enzyme that converts serotonin into N-acetylserotonin, and that enzyme is suppressed every time that we're exposed to large amounts of light. So naturally, this happens when the sun comes up, and this is how light inhibits melatonin production, giving us our circadian rhythm. That obviously brings into the discussion blue light sources, like the ones I'm staring at right now for this video, or the computer screens behind me, or the TV you watch before you go to bed. All of these things hamper your circadian rhythm by preventing you from producing melatonin when you need it. With melatonin, you see a sedating effect. And so exogenous melatonin is our first line of defense against these problems. If you are in an area where sunlight goes pretty late, in the summer here in Jersey, it can be light until 9 p.m. If you're in front of lights, TVs, computer screens, if you're playing video games late at night, it's not going to be really great for your recovery. Melatonin often gives great sleep aid without many side effects. Some people will report grogginess, but I find it to be very few and far between where you see people who actually have bad side effects due to it. In the wake of serious sleep problems, it's probably best to just be using melatonin instead of being tired the next morning from not sleeping well or not getting enough sleep for that matter. In any case, the product is different from what we normally see in sleep, and I'm happy to see that there's a focus on endogenous melatonin production. Not everything can be fixed by giving the body more of it, but in this case, by giving a little bit and also helping the production of it, and then giving you a couple of other things to help with stress. I'm happy with raw sleep. It gives me a great almost daily usage and helps me get up the next day and get back to work. I do have to say we got this product for free. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to talk to you about it, but we do have a business affiliate relationship with Raw, so I want to make sure that's out there and obvious. As always, guys, I appreciate you making this far in the video, and have a great day.
Welcome to PricePlow.